What's going on, y'all? I am very proud to admit that today is the day you are seeing the updated branded Fiendsmith profile. I originally thought I would have to try and make space to upgrade it to get the new Fiendsmith fusion monster to fit in there. Try and MacGuffin that strategy around, try and make that work. But then we got some new branded stuff. And damn, this deck goes crazy. It's very hard to beat me playing this deck. And this has been a passion project for the last year. That new Fallen of the White Dragon really makes this go hard, and I'm really happy to be showing this off. I'm going to start this off with 3 of Quem. This is actually pretty mandatory for this deck. We kind of go into more of the ideology of the branded synchro, because the new monster is a synchro, so we gotta kind of get into that mentality. Now the tuner we got is this golden sword soul, followed up by the incredible ecclesia that special summons it. It's just the basic ultra rare. I really am jealous of people that were smart enough to just pick up all of the alt arts and not like piss around the same way I did, as now I've got the 2 alt art Cartesias there, but I don't have the alt art ecclesia. Cry me a river, right? Can't have that without the 2 new Albazes. This guy is sweet. He does have a summon restriction, but it's way easier to get around than a lot of people think. And I've gotten a lot of looks because I've made some really interesting boards people didn't think were possible. And in this video, and probably another couple videos, I'm going to show you how to do all of that. I'm just going to completely school the shit out of people on this. And I also got the OG Fallen Albaz, just one. This deck, you kind of need to play the 2-in-1. If I only had the 1 Fallen of the White Dragon, I wouldn't even try this. So I'm just going to put these on the side here. I guess to round that up, we also have an Albion. Albion's an important card in this deck too. Not for any specific reason, it just helps you extend. Get into some bystials. Got 2 saronirs, 1 magnamhut, and 3 lubellions. I should be playing Druid Worm. Well, I shouldn't. Like, Druid Worm would be good. I've thought about it, but it's not Mando. It's just a win more. It just gets you further. If I was playing Branded Beast, I'd totally be playing What's His Nuts, Druid Worm, but I'm not playing Branded Beast, so I'm not playing Druid Worm. Get into the Fiendsmith. We get the 1 lacrima, the 3 Fiendsmith engraver, and 2 fabled lurrie. We are going beyond full Fiendsmith package in this deck. This is the biggest Fiendsmith inclusion that most people are going to be playing in their main deck, because it actually serves a purpose. And I will show you guys all of that chocolatey fudge coated awesomeness. Going into some auxiliary cards, we have the 3 Ash Blossoms. Very proud to say I've got QCRs now. We've got the Despian Tragedy to summon to the opponent's field when we summon the archlord krystia to our field. So then we could be like, oh, what a tragedy. Oh, isn't that funny? That is our monsters. Let's get into the spells. We have 3. You need 3 of the Brandon High Spirits. It's very important. Big ups to Konami for making this card an ultra rare, giving us a new max rarity for it. Super stoked on that from the structure decks. You need 3 Fiendsmith Tract as well, because if you're not getting one, you want to get the other one. And if you're getting both, Your opponent's gonna fucking stop one and they're gonna whiff on the other one. These cards are too good. We go on to some one-ofs. We got a branded in red. That's a pretty fun little extender. I'll actually throw that one in later. Keep going with some branded cards. I have this kind of not organized properly. Branded in red, branded in white. That one doesn't really come up as often. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's good to have these cards when you're playing branded in the modern format, because they do help you get into further combo. Like branded in white did come up today when I was doing the krystia lock, because you do Albion and Saronir to send Retribution and branded in white the same way you would branded fusion, and your combo would have already gotten you all of the auxiliary materials in your graveyard for Sanctifier anyways. So you just make Grand Guignol off of the rest of the combo, send the krystia, and you're just off to the races there. Got the 2 Fallen in the Virtuous. Repeat, 2 Fallen in the Virtuous. I've tried 3. I brick on it too much. I do not open enough engine, especially engine variety. No matter what variant of the deck I play, whether it's pure branded, whether it's a branded mix with something, I just open 2 copies of it, and it's like, well, what the fuck? So I'm just playing 2 so that I only open 1 copy of it. Savvy? Logical? I hope so. We got the 2 continuouses, branded lost and branded regained. These complement both parts of our auxiliary engines that we're playing. And usually you're going to be choosing which one you set off of lubellion based on the game state you're in. We have Called by the Grave. Triple Tactics Talents. We have a Foolish Burial to kind of go along with our tragedy and some of our other stuff. And then we have 3 of the Forbidden Droplet. I still think it's the best Forbidden card. So those are our spells. And then we have the 2 traps. Etude of the Branded and Branded Retribution. Branded Retribution is pretty basic. Everybody that plays Branded knows what this card is. Etude of the Branded is a special card. It's a special girl. So what that does is, if you control a bystial monster, anything your opponent uses for a tribute, for a ritual summon, for a fusion material, a link material, a synchro material, it all gets banished instead of sent to the graveyard. So if you know you're playing against Mitsurugi, forget about it. Like, you set this with some of your bystials up, they're done. Can't do nothing. Because same thing with Draco Tail. The effect's got a trigger from the graveyard. So if they're banished, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when he etude on you? Pretty fun little trap. And if you don't have any bystials active and you have to set something with Albion, he's still got the 2 Fallen in the Virtuouses. So that's just extra winning. We'll get into the extra deck. Synchros first. Our Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon. Very crucial card. Makes everything go around. We have Despian Lulu Willilith. A very good extender. One of my personal favorites. Bystial Dispatter. Another big boss in the deck. And he is very important for combo. Get into our fusion monsters. Our big guy, my very favorite monster in the game, Mirror Jade. This guy, I just want to start the meme that no matter what your boss monster is, it's going to become Mirror Jade. We then have Albion to go with it. A Renbrum, because he still comes up. Sanctifier, because he's just great. We have the Dragon that Devours the Dogma. This is a really important card to play in the modern game. You need to remember to always have your ecclesia in the graveyard, the incredible ecclesia. Number one way to do this is by banishing the ecclesia of the Synchro. Special summon Albaz. Discard the ecclesia monster from your hand for the cost. Then make this guy. Do all of it at once. That's the number one way to remember it. If you don't remember it that way, you're gonna mess something up and you're gonna just have the 3,000 guy sitting there. Make him 3,500, unmesswithable. You're gonna be punching through a lot of stuff. Mitsurugi ain't gonna be a problem for you if you got this guy up. Yes, people are still playing it in my local meta. We get Grand Guignol for obvious reasons. You have Titaniclad. Titaniclad is dope. It is the second card you will be sending off of Fallen and the Virtuous more often than not. The first one will be Albion. The second one will be Titaniclad. If you got to go that far, you need more monsters. I do have more fusions, but they're for the Fiendsmith. You'll be surprised to see Despian Queritus is still kicking around. And yes, he is actually important in this deck because he is a Fiendsmith bridge. He is a light fiend monster. So very often I'll make him instead of Grand Guignol, and then I'll link off so that I can eventually make Desiree. As I said about linking off with the Requiem. Sequence and Agnamunde. That rounds out our extra deck. Very basic Fiendsmith package there. At least one of everything for the Fiendsmith. We'll get into the extra deck. Or not the extra deck, the side deck. We got 3 of the Perulia and Fualos. If you're not on 3 of any 2 of the Mulch armies in this point in the game, you just don't want to win. Like, they've been reprinted in structured decks as commons. Go get them. You just don't want to win if you're not playing them. We also have 2 Droplets Lockbirds. Because I still believe in this guy, and I like having both arts in QCR. But I do have both arts, but I'm only playing these 2. That was me looking like an idiot, flexing stuff I'm not playing. I am playing, in the side deck, 3 Triple Tactics Thrust. Card's pretty freaking good. Especially when it can search you tracked in addition to Raigeki, Lightning Storm, and Harpy's Feather Duster. Which are all really important going second cards. I'd say the typical going second strategy, side in 3 out of 6 of your Mulch armies, and at least 1 of these. And if you really want to get them, side in some of these thrusts with it. That's kind of just, if you do not know how to side deck. There's one more really funny card in the side deck. Santa Claus. Why Santa Claus? He's a light fiend kaiju. He's a searchable kaiju off of Fiendsmith Tract. This tech never gets old. I've had a couple games today where I just needed to get over something. I'm like, wait a minute, I'll do Tract to search Santa Claus and Merry Christmas. With that though, I'm going to show y'all probably my favorite combo that this deck does. The bread and butter. You need, in your hand, there are no genuine 1-card starters in this deck, by the way. everything is kind of based off of what you get. It's like a slot machine. What you get is what you got to learn to play with. But these two cards, if you get this combination of two cards, Branded High Spirits and Fabled Lurrie, you're more often going to make one of the most unfuckwithable boards that the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Can produce. What we are going to do is we are going to start by playing Branded in High Spirits. You can do this in the draw phase, by the way. We will show our opponent the Fabled Lurrie. And this is why Queritus is so important, because Queritus fills out the requirements for Branded in High Spirits with Fabled Lurrie. I found that out when I was playing Branded Chimera. So you send all these, and the key word with High Spirits is it discards the Lurrie. So you send all three of these to the graveyard. We'll just pretend the graveyard's over there. And you get to search Quem. But on a new chain, you get to special summon your Lurrie. Now, isn't that awesome? So now we'll go standby main. We can normal summon the Quem, use her effect. We'll send the Albaz to the graveyard. I'll just put that over here. And now we can link for this Requiem. And now that we have linked for the Requiem, the Quem can target the Albaz and special summon it. Now, isn't that great? On the summon of the Albaz, it can special summon the Incredible Ecclesia, and then the Incredible Ecclesia can tribute itself, special summon the Golden Sword Soul. This is an actually pretty cool bit of tech that I seen on Cali Effect's video. And if you haven't seen the Cali Effect video where he's teching this deck, you should check it out because you will learn some things. I've been playing this deck for a long time and I still learn some things. So you're going to synchro with these two for the Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon, the new monster. One of the two new monsters. And then you're going to tribute this, or banish this. So your first thought right now is going to be, wait a minute, you already used both of Quem's effects. What are you going to summon? I'm going to summon Cartesia, you dummy. And then I can still trigger this Golden Sword Soul, banish it to special summon the Incredible Ecclesia from the graveyard. From here, I can just hold off on using her effect until later on, or I could just use it right now. Or I could do it right now. We'll fuse into this Grand Guignol. You can use Grand Guignol to send whatever you want. And in this case, I think I'm just going to send Albion. Then we are going to synchro again for Despian Lilith, because we can. And then we can tribute this and do our little Fiendsmith thing. Summon Crimson Tears. Use Crimson Tears to send the engraver. We can use the engraver to spin back the Queritus and summon him back. Isn't that something? Then we can link to these guys. Oh, that's the wrong separate pile. For sequence. And we can do sequence effect. We got 1, 2, 3. Something else you could have done with the Grand Guignol is you could have sent another Fiendsmith, so you could have extra materials. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to do this. Spin all three of them back. Make this Desiree. Link them. Nope. And if you're unfamiliar, that makes Agnamunde. Now, Agnamunde will target this Desiree, special summon it back, and automatically equip the resolution. And you can equip the sequence. And then we can go to the end phase. Within the end phase, we have triggers. These two back to your hand. This will come back to your hand next turn. Oh, I guess I could have returned this instead of the Crimson Tears. That would actually be way better. So the Albion will set us a branded Speller Trap, which will most likely be fallen in the virtuous. Right here. We get back, where is it? The ecclesia in the end phase. And there we go. We have the Grand Guignol in the graveyard to banish and special a Despian Queritus still. And once that happens, the Lilith can drop the stats. Not drop the stats, it can buff the stats of all of our monsters. And we can do Ecclesia to banish and special summon a thing. That is 3. We have the Fallen and the Virtuous for 4. We have the Fiendsmith for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 potential. And then it just depends on what we do from there. Off of 2 cards, you have 2 extra cards and 9 potential interactions. Like, assuming your opponent tried to hand trap you during this whole thing, we would have played through it. You could have done Krystia. I just wanted to be cool. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to do more combo videos on this deck. More combo videos so you guys actually know what's going on. I'm going to do some videos with just some fresh hands rather than like keeping the cards separated to be quick. But yeah, this is a good one if you ask me. Peace out for now.